Welcome, grammar lovers. The purpose of this lesson is to examine the hidden X words do, does, and did. We will learn how they relate to VXO, VXS, and VXD, why they are called hidden X words, and how they make questions and negative sentences and bad emphasis. We know that there are three places in the verb phrase that can be filled: X word, middle word, and main verb. In sentences that have visible X words, it's easy to make questions and negative sentences. This is a piece of cake. Move the X word in front of the subject to make a yes-no question. Is this a piece of cake? Just add not or its abbreviation to the X word to make the sentence negative. This isn't a piece of cake. But in sentences with VXD, VXO, or VXS verbs, you can't see an X word. These forms of the main verb have a special relationship with the X words do, does, and did. We can think of them as two sides of the same coin. One side needs the other side to do its job. To explain this, we are going to get help from some mice. This is the does mouse. Here you can see that his tail is an S. Here's how it works. Typically, what does a mouse like to eat? Cheese. Everybody says that. This is our cheese. The cheese is the base form of a verb. It's just going to sit there while we make 4 different sentences. So the does mouse is going to help us tell a story. It's a love story about a guy named Bob and a girl named Mary. First, we'll ask a question. Does Bob love Mary? The mouse can't do everything alone. It needs a little punctuation and capitalization to make a yes-no question. Now the mouse wants to get close to its cheese, so we're going to take away the capital and bring the mouse over here. But what's going to stop the mouse? A stop sign, of course. So we're going to put the not, contracted N''T, between the mouse and its cheese. Bob doesn't love Mary. What kind of punctuation? A period. Listen again. Does Bob love Mary? Bob doesn't love Mary. And the cheese hasn't done anything. It's the X word that's doing things. The next person is a great believer in love and insists that Bob's love is true. He uses does right next to the cheese, and he says it strongly. He even adds an exclamation point. Bob does love Mary. But now the mouse calms down. We go back to a period, and our little mouse gets to its cheese, and only its tail shows. There's good news. It works with the other ones, too. Here's our did mouse. Do you see how it's different? It has a little D for a tail. Let's look at the yes-no question. We're talking about my grandparents. They died a long time ago, so we're using did. Did Bob love Mary? Let's add our punctuation. And the negative? We'll need not to stop the mouse from getting to its cheese. Bob already has a capital, and we'll change the question mark to a period. The emphatic? And then we relax and state the truth, and the mouse gets back to its cheese. Now what's the third member of the family? We've got does and did. We're missing do. And what is its tail like? It doesn't have a tail. Can we say, do Bob love Mary? No. What do we have to change? We have to change the subject. So we'll add a little drama to our love story. Bob and Fred love Mary. So one more time. Do Bob and Fred love Mary? The negative? Bob and Fred don't love Mary. The emphatic, Bob and Fred do love Mary. And finally, the affirmative statement, Bob and Fred love Mary. To review, in VXS, VXO, and VXD verbs, the X word is hidden, but it's there, like a little mouse hiding in its cheese. When it comes out, the mouse brings its tail with it, leaving the base form. It's the mouse that does all of the work. The cheese just sits there, like cheese. The mouse moves closer and closer to the cheese as it goes from asking a question to making a negative to adding emphasis. And this is true in every sentence. If you can't see an X word, it's hiding. What should you do next? Read Lesson 9, do the exercises, and look for hidden X words and mice in your reading.